Hello, my name is Denise Mixon, and I'm from Miami, Florida, and it was 36 years ago this very month that I became pregnant when I was a sophomore in college. My two college roommates drove me up to Washington, D.C., to this very place to have my abortion. I was 19 years old. When they dropped me off, I felt very alone. They wanted my money, and they had me fill out the papers, and there were a lot of girls in the waiting room. None of us would look at each other, and we would just look at the floor. The experience was the most horrible experience of my entire life to this day. It was cold in the room. The doctor never looked at me. I never knew his name. The nurse told me to be quiet, that I was making too much noise. There was no anesthesia, and the pain was excruciating. When it was over, I went back out because my friends were not there to pick me up, and I had to sit in the waiting room with girls that I knew were going to do what I'd just done. I immediately regretted my abortion. I knew better. I went back to school, and there was no solace for a loss for a baby because I had murdered my baby. So the next 20 years I spent getting married. God blessed me in all His grace with 4 children. I was very involved in my church, and I lived in a prison of secret shame, pain, and regret. So afraid that they would find out. One day, the biggest fear of my life came when I was in the car with my oldest daughter, who was 14, and she asked me, "Do you know anyone who has ever had an abortion?" And I said, "Lord, please no." And He said, "Yes, now." And I told my daughter, and that was the beginning of the healing for me, that my secret was out. Each of my children were told. And then I volunteered in a crisis pregnancy center where I found healing, and I took a Bible study, Forgiven and Set Free, where I found my final healing, and I am now a facilitator for women, and I tell them that there is life after death, that you can come from the prison of pain, shame, and regret, and here I live for it, and that is why I am silent no more. Praise God.